Libra, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, and Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your September 21st, 2025 new moon reading for you. So let's see what the tarot has to say. Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. Oh, interesting. Let's move these up so you can see them better. Angels and spirit guides. Oh, okay. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly, guide this reading. All right, this is a lovely reading. It's a little bit of an intense reading, so it's a little bit of an intense time. Do note, Libra, that we are in a new moon in Virgo. We're actually in the Virgo portal. So that means that we are bookended right now. We've had 2 new moons in Virgo. And so that energy is really coming forward during this time, that practicality, that down to earth, that really looking at things in a very steady, kind of logical way is going to be really important. This is also a moon of deep healing and of transformation. So what we're going to see is that there's been a part of us that has been slumbering. This is judgment. In this deck, it is the sleepers. So this deck is all based off pretty much of Arthurian legend. Well, actually it's Welsh legend, but also Arthurian. So what we have here is the sense of Arthur's soldiers, like Arthur's knights, were put to sleep when he, was wounded, put to sleep, and then would rise again when, England needed him. And so here, these are his trusted warriors that also are slumbering till the point that they are needed. And so this is the energy within you that has been slumbering. It hasn't been called upon yet for one reason or another. And you're going to see that within yourself, you are awakening. This energy is awakening. You're coming out of a time of slumber. And this energy is coming out of a time of slumber into a time of action, into a time of knowledge, into a time of understanding, but also into a time where you see here, they're holding their swords. Now, you are represented by the swords in the minor arcana. So you're holding your sword, you're awakening, meaning that your knowledge, your knowing is expanding. And that can be very overwhelming because you're taking in new knowledge, you're seeing things in a different way. And if you're here, you're part of this family, right? You already see things differently. Even if you've just stumbled upon here, welcome, first of all, but you see things differently. You're connecting to the world differently. You're connecting to yourself differently. Other people tend to be reactionary. You are compassionate. And so that can lead to reactionary understandings of things, right? But there is a compassion, there is a love that guides you forward. It's not based off of ego here. It is really the basis of love and connection and deeper understanding. So that love, that connection, that deeper understanding is coming forward now. And it moves us to the challenge, and that is the 10 of Pentacles, meaning financially, you might not right at this very moment be at the place that you want to be. That is okay. Everybody's growing, everybody's learning. Everything seems to be just a little bit more challenging in the world than it was yesterday. And so with the 10 of Pentacles, there is this sense of how do I embrace my prosperity? How do I embrace my abundance? Be very mindful not to be looking at everybody else and thinking they have it all figured out. They don't. They're just stumbling in different ways. It moves us then to the 8 of Cups. This is you choosing you. And this is the energy that you need to focus on. You're stepping away from something, stepping out of a way of being, out of a way of seeing things. You can be ending something, and some readers, and sometimes this is defined as an ending as severe as a divorce. And if you've been here, you will know that that is how I've defined the card before. But I'm also more and more seeing the 8 of Cups as I need to choose my path. And what I thought would make me happy, right, isn't necessarily what makes me happy now. And so it's that evolution, it's that deeper understanding. And for some, it can be the end of a relationship. For others, it can be the beginning of a relationship and an end of a struggle, an emotional struggle, or a kind of like a way of thinking that it is supposed to be. Whichever way it is for you, there is this sense of freedom, there is this sense of compassion, there is this sense of love guiding you forward. Now we're coming out of the Page of Wands energy time, meaning that the Page of Wands is childlike energy, right? Fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. And it can be, and it well, it is that you've been very fiery, right? You've been very intense. You've been looking at things. You've been focusing on things. And it has been a time of action. And you might need to cozy up and take a nice, good nap, just kind of sit back, relax, and chill. This is also calling for the energy of children, right? The energy of, okay, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. And little kids, as we all know, they can go and then all of a sudden they'll just crash, right? And then they'll be like, but I don't want to go to sleep. I'm not tired. So here it was that energy of going and going and going and going. And now you're coming down from that. Now there's a calm, there is a peace that's following you forward. But there was also this immense sense of learning, of knowing, of seeking, of gaining a deeper understanding, of looking at things in a different way. You've gotten a lot of messages from spirit, and especially from the sacred feminine aspect of yourself, that more caring, more nurturing, more comforting aspect that is opening up the doors for you. You're going to see yourself moving forward in a way that you hadn't anticipated before. And it's stepping you into your strength. And this strength is now the Queen of Cups. You go from that child energy, that exuberance, that tenacity, that inquisitiveness, to a queen who is much more refined, much more reserved. And so your strength is going to be being a little bit more reserved, being a little bit more held back with things, not kind of giving everything away all at once. This is also an immense time of healing. It is following what you love. There can also be emotional turmoil around you. We see the waves here all around her, and it can be intense. It can be overwhelming. You're dealing with a lot. This is also, again, water sign energy. I don't know if I said that. Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. So here, if you're born on the cusp with Scorpio, if you have water sign energy in your chart, that's coming out very powerfully. Just as if you had fire sign energy in your chart, that came out very powerfully before. What you're going to see is that you're moving towards love. You're moving towards a deeper connection to your heart. You're moving towards what it is that you truly desire. Now, this is when our lovely Libra energy comes in and kind of wants to trip us up. Why? Because we're represented by the swords. Remember that. And here in our near future, we have the Nine of Swords. And it's like, well, I don't want this. This is ugly, right? This is a nightmare. This is scary. This is overwhelming. No. It is a time where your strength is going to be, and this is going to be a time of facing nightmares, facing things that would have held you back in the past. Now you're climbing out of that doubt and that fear, and you're seeing yourself move forward. It can also feel a little bit isolating because everybody else sees you as this beautiful person riding on a horse. It's like, you totally got this, right? Your goals. Other people look at you and think goals. And you're wondering why they're not asking if you're okay, why they're not connecting more, right? Why they're not caring, because they see you as having it all under control. This is a time where if you need help, ask for it, okay? Because again, other people are going to think, oh, you've got this all under control. But this is also a time, Libra, where you're climbing out of fears and doubts and overwhelm. Be mindful of your sleep. You are going to get a lot of information through your dreams, and those dreams are going to carry you far. So just be aware that this is going to open up doors for you, that you're going to see things in a very different way than you have been before, that you're not held back, and you just have to kind of slow things down a little bit. Slow things down, and your mind and your heart are talking to each other. Okay, our heart talks to our mind all the time. And this is a time where we have to listen. And sometimes that can bring up fears and doubts. So remember, if you need assistance, ask for it, okay? And also, the climb up, it can be painful, right? Because nobody likes a ladder made of swords. That's not nice. But also, it is that sense of conquering the doubt of our mind, doubt of ourselves, to really see ourselves moving forward in a direction that we might have thought impossible, but now realize it is possible. This is also the repeat of the number 9. So we move now to the 9 of Pentacles. 9 of Swords, the mind being intense, telling you everything that can go wrong, right? It's kind of like that like monkey mind that we have sometimes, where it's like, oh, this can go wrong, that can go wrong. It's like, okay, that's not helping me, thank you. But it's also very human. So being aware of the human aspect of ourselves moving us forward. The advice for this time is embrace the prosperity of the right here and the right now. We can worry about the past and the future until the cows come home, until it is all that we see. But then we will miss the present, and the present truly is a gift. And so here with the 9 of Pentacles, embracing our prosperity, embracing our success is going to be super important. Mind your money, okay? Mind your money with the little things, because you can see the little things kind of get a little bit out of hand. So just be mindful with that. With the increase of, prosperity and abundance. There's a lot of hard work that has gone into what you have achieved, how you have succeeded, how you are moving forward. So it is saying that I'm reveling in the bounty that I have, but my gosh, did I work hard at this. So also embracing that. There's also a true love connection during this time, connecting with that person. Either you are in love or you want to be falling in love. Do not, if you are looking to fall in love, do not lower your standards and say, well, you know what, I'm getting older, or time's passing by, and I just have to settle. No, this is a real sense of I'm connecting with somebody, and when I connect, it will be forever. And that is beautiful. Don't look too much at the bigger picture, okay? This is really focusing on the here and the now. That's what this new moon in Virgo really brings us. It brings us this sense of really paying attention and refining our routines and refining what it is that we truly want in order to open up the doors, in order to have us move forward in a very practical, very, distinct way. And so here, don't get caught up in looking at the bigger picture and saying, oh, but I have to do this over here and that over here. No, one thing at a time is going to be super important, because the energy around you, and that can be why fear comes forward. And I know you're like, oh, Dane, I don't want to see this either, is, as my cards are really well used, as you know, these guys have been through quite a bit. The Tower here is a time of immense change. Now, it can be a time of happy change. It can be a time of weddings and joys and moving house and all this stuff. But it's like, oh my gosh, I have to make this work, right? New job. How do I fit in? So just being aware of that. A tower doesn't have to be a bad time. It is just a time that changes your life forever. And so here with the Tower energy coming in, again, there are emotions that are running high. You can be feeling a lot of feelings and then trying to work them out and wanting them to be so logical, because that is what air sign energy does. We want it to be logical. We want it to be practical. We want it to make sense to us. It doesn't have to make sense to everybody else. But here, what you're going to see is that eclipse energy, I did forget to tell you this, of course, that we have a partial solar eclipse right before we have the new moon. So on the same day, we have a partial solar eclipse. We are in eclipse season, and eclipse season does bring chaos with it. It just brings a bit more intensity of emotion, a bit more chaos, a bit more overwhelm. So being mindful of that, but the new moon in Virgo really balances out that energy, really tries to calm things down and make things sensible. So being aware of this is going to be important. Then we have the King of Swords. This is us. We are represented by the swords in the minor arcana. We are cutting through doubts and fears and negativities, hurts, pains, disappointments. We are also being blessed with greater knowledge. We have the crows flying in the background. I always think of these as Hunin and Munin, in Norse mythology. I know we are crossing, but Norse and the Celtic mythologies were actually very intertwined, like England and Norse. So just being aware of that is important, until William the Conqueror was like, this is mine, came in and was like, we're going to make this all English and French, type of deal. So here we're cutting through doubts and fears. We are embracing our voice. We are also seeing things more clearly, but we're also seeing into the spirit realm. The armor around his head, okay, means that you guard your thoughts. Guard your thoughts. Don't share everything with everybody, though you may want to. You may want to be like, well, what do you think of this? And what about this? And how about this? And how about that? Kind of ruminate on it and then speak. That's going to be very important. The purple blue, that's a color of royalty. It was a color of immense wealth, immense power, but it's also a color of the third eye chakra. So it's connecting with your deeper sight, your deeper understanding, and the deeper voice within you. Your hopes are to move forward as a powerful king, building your nation, building what it is that you desire, building what it is that you want. You fear that you will never get there. You fear that you will always be working towards something that is forever unattainable. And that's not true. It is obtainable. It just might be different than the way we originally thought. Remember that we have a limited vocabulary or a limited imagination by what we have taken in this world, meaning that it's the place that we were born. It's the people that we see every day. It's the stories that we read and watch that makes up what we think success is. That makes up how we see the world. So here it can be like, hey, expand your mind, expand your ideas, and look at things. And we tend to think, especially like in the US, we like our McMansions, we like our big cars, we like all that stuff. And it's like, what if we slowed it down and scaled it down? What would that be? Would it be failure, or would it also be success? Because it comes with more stability. It moves us then to the Six of Pentacles. Things are coming into balance during this time, and that's what a Virgo new moon gives us. It gives us the gift of the unique opportunity for personal power, but calm personal power. It gives us this sense of, what do I want? What are the old patterns that need to go away? What is it that I want to embrace in my life? What am I looking for within me? And what is the success that I am planting within this world? You are going to find that there is somebody who kind of hands you a gift, hands you an idea. It doesn't have to be that they literally hand you a gift, but it's going to be an idea. It's going to be an insight. It brings things into balance for you. And it helps bring things into balance, not just for you, but for those around you. And that's going to be very rewarding and very successful. You have the seeds, so that the challenge, embracing the Ten of Pentacles, that wealth and prosperity, this is also, vampiric energy from the past, like generational curses being broken. But we're looking at things right now, and it's like, okay, this is weighing heavily on my shoulders. How do I release it, and how do I move me forward? So just be aware of that during this time. Let's see what the moon has to say for herself. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. Self-love, attraction, angels and spirit guides. Power. Ooh, I love it. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. And spirit guides, angels. And spirit guides, show me clearly. Okay, so here we have self-love. Nothing will come of the situation. And I know that sounds like, wow, harsh, rude, mean, moon, thank you. But it's the self-love coming forward. And what you think is going to happen, because this is a void of course. This happens multiple times in a lunar cycle. A void of course is when things do not go as you have had planned. And that is okay. I do know people who are like during this time, because I think they last like 3 minutes. Like during these 3 minutes, I'm not doing anything. I'll just sit, I'll be quiet. I will kind of let this alone. And other people are like, well, if it goes pear-shaped, it goes pear-shaped. That's okay. So here, just know that as you embrace your self-love, as you see yourself, what you expect to see, what you expect to come forward is not necessarily going to be what comes forward during this time, but it is going to be what you practically need in order to move forward in success and in prosperity. Attraction, the law of attraction, also the energy that you're putting forward into the world is coming during this time, is going to be really listened to during this moon. Look at the bigger picture. Even though Spirit has said with the Nine of Pentacles, don't, take in everything, but look at the bigger picture of what you want and take aim. Okay, don't be too myopic, but also don't get distracted by the bigger picture. So it's going to be a bit of a balancing act, and we do love a bit of a balancing act, Libra. Power. This is the full moon. The full moon will be here in like 15 days. Okay, so the new moon sets us up for the intention for the full moon. It's when we really look at what we want, what we're going for, what we're being guided towards. But also, the new moon can set us up for the Virgo full moon. Okay, which will happen in about 6 months. So here, what we're looking at is how we step forward in power of prosperity, power of success, power of clear sight, and clear communication, because Virgo is also ruled by Mercury. So communication and insight is very important to this earth sign, even though we would think, oh, this is an air sign quality. It is going to be a quality that we are very attracted to and comfortable in. Adjustments are required for our power. We are going to have to tune things. It's kind of like calibrating, a scale. You need to make sure that it's set to the right point. So this is going to be a time where you're calibrating things, you're looking at things, you're measuring things out, you're balancing, and you're finding your equilibrium, you're finding your harmony. It moves us then to our spirit message. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. So, we have 3. Chatty spirit. We have prosperity. We have confidence, and we have blossoming. With our prosperity, as we embrace our prosperity, we find our confidence, and we are blossoming into the person that we are. But our prosperity comes from an acceptance of ourselves, a seeing of ourselves, and in knowing what it is that we want. It brings us then to our chakra energy. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. And this is angels and masters. This is the soul star chakra located 6 inches above our crown. This is your angels wrapping you in a warm, loving hug. This is you being protected. This is your spirit guides talking to you, guiding you forward, opening up your mind, opening up your energy to so much more. It moves us then to the energy to be mindful of. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Ooh, right here. And again, it's the 10 of Pentacles. So there can be this kind of like sense of overextending yourself financially. Do be mindful about that. But during this moon, when it's about earth sign energy, it's about planting the seeds. This is also about letting go of generational baggage. Okay, the baggage that we were brought up in around money, around prosperity, you know, what we have inherited from our ancestors. And this is breaking generational curses. And we can find it to be challenging at this time, this transformation, this coming to a completion of a cycle when it comes to wealth or what we value as much as money, because we are right at the cusp of breaking free from it forever. And so there's like one last challenge here that comes forward. And we could be looking at other people. I always see this as kind of like a green-eyed monster coming, like in this card. I don't know why, but it's always like these green eyes coming out. And it's like, I covet what everybody else has. Like I want what everybody else has. Because in our mind, we have created what we wanted in what everybody else has. And Spirit's saying here, don't. Look at things like they are, okay? Use that beautiful, you know, practical mind of yours, Libra. Look at things as they are and move forward in the prosperity that you want in your heart, because you might be fighting against the prosperity that everybody else is telling you you should want and you should have and you should be like, you know, XYZ. It moves us then to our subconscious spirit message, and this is abundance. Subconsciously, we are moving towards the abundance of our heart, our soul, ourselves, building up that confidence, building up that power. It brings us then to our subconscious spirit message, chakra message, and this is truth. This is the throat chakra. Speak your truth. You know, say what it is that you need to say to yourself. It doesn't have to be to everybody else. Nobody else needs to know, right? But say what it is that you want to yourself. Balance the energy within you and see yourself move forward in that power. It brings us then to our subconscious energy to be mindful of. This is Scorpio energy. Time frame is October 23rd to November 21st. So it can be like, hey, be mindful of a Scorpio. That could be it, or be mindful of that time frame. But it is also being mindful of secrets. It is being mindful of things not being fully in the open, the way that we would want them to be. Thinking people are much more honest with us, most likely around their prosperity, their success, their abundance, than they actually are. So just be aware of that. It moves us to our subconscious Luna message, which is beauty, the beauty in nature. I cannot tell you how long I had worked with these cards before I saw the beautiful face that is right here. I think I saw like lips or something like that. But I was like, this is the outline of the face, just in case you can't see it, the eyes, the nose, the mouth. And it's like, oh, okay, I get it. There is beauty. And the beauty comes when we start to expand our mind, when we start to look at things not as they are, not as the leaves and the flowers and the butterfly that they are, but as what they are showing us. And then it brings us to this place of beauty. And it says the answers you need are coming. What you are seeking for is coming forward. And it moves us. Oh, I love, this is my favorite card. This is my favorite card. I think if I was to be one card in the whole entire tarot deck, it would be the 10 of Cups, because that is for me, and they all live happily ever after. They don't have to be a ruler of anything. They don't have to be, you know, anything like that. It is just embracing what truly makes you happy and living in that happiness, living in that joy. And if that's like, if you're here, that's why you're here. To find your own personal joy, your own personal happiness, your own personal power, to open up those doors in the most exquisite of ways. All right, Libra, I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Have a wonderful moon. Have a blessed moon and a blessed life. Bye.